Hello, everyone. I'm Jeffrey Wolt, Editor-in-Chief of Chain Drug Review and Mass Market Retailers. Welcome to our video forum. Today, our guest is George Rafferty, President of the Corporate Partnerships Program at AmerisourceBergen. George, welcome.
Thank you, Jeff. Pleasure to be here.
George, obviously you have embarked a year or so ago on a new journey at ABC, converting your strategic accounts group into the corporate partnership group. Maybe you can tell me a little bit about what led to that change and what's involved.
2021, of which we're all excited to get into a new year, is really an exciting year for us at AmerisourceBergen. It's actually going to be the 20th anniversary of the formation of Amerisource and Bergen coming together as an organization. So it's a big year for us. Mm-hmm. But I think even more recently, and as you've spent time with our organization, we've been in, I guess, what I would call a transformation of AmerisourceBergen over the last several years, where we've been bringing together, I guess I'll call it the kind of the disparate business units and capabilities of the company together under our One ABC strategy. And you've seen that with our organization, both from a technology standpoint, an operational standpoint, and a leadership standpoint. So it seemed like a natural time for us to look at our, what we now call our corporate partnerships program or customer base. And really this team that I lead is responsible for bringing the ABC enterprise to our largest and most strategic customers. So as our company has evolved, we thought it was time we took a look at how we approached our customers and does it align, and were we structured in a way that truly enabled us to bring this One ABC enterprise strategy to our large customer. So we decided to really be research based on how we approached really analyzing I guess I'll call our go-to-market strategy. So we really started with, I'll call it a customer back approach. And what I mean by that is really starting at the customer and really trying to understand the needs of our customers and how we could align the ABC enterprise, with the needs of our customers. We made a pretty fundamental shift a couple of years ago where we decided to stop trying to convince our customers of our strategy, but actually help them deliver on their strategies, because as they grow, we grow along with it. So that's really was the impetus to us to start this process and really understand how we could do a better job supporting our customers with a better go-to-market strategy for our corporate partnership customers.
Could you remind our viewers who a few of your large customers are?
We have in our corporate partnership customer base what's oftentimes referred to a mosaic of customers. Mm-hmm. We have obviously Walgreens and other large retailers, Sam's Club, Costco, Publix, all within our portfolio. We also have Kaiser Permanente, a premier customer of ours, Humana, Express Scripts, and many independent specialty pharmacy customers as well. So it really is a mosaic of customers, and our retail customers obviously play a significant role and contribution to our overall corporate partnership program.
What do those partnerships look like? I mean, obviously, many of the large companies you mentioned have tremendous resources of their own. How do you supplement what one of those big companies already does?
Yeah, so I'm going to go back a little bit and just talk a little bit about what we did in the past versus what we're doing, because I think that may provide some context to kind of the question that you're asking. So again, we embarked on this late last summer and into the fall, and we did a lot of research with our customers. And listen, anytime you get to get feedback from your customers on how you're doing and what they want you to be doing is invaluable. But there's two things that came out really, really of interest to me. One was the amount of trust that our customers had in AmerisourceBergen was really refreshing. They trust our people, they trust our operations, they trust our integrity. And as you know, trust is the basis of everything. We can't expect to do more with our customers if the foundation of our relationship isn't one that's built on trust. So I was super excited to hear that. Number two was they've been hearing more and more about ABC Enterprise, the capabilities of AmerisourceBergen, And there was an expectancy around that they would get to have, I guess I'll call access or the benefit of the ABC enterprise being in our corporate partnerships portfolio. But what was standing in our way was really a couple of things. One is our coverage model for our customers in the portfolio was exactly the same with each customer, regardless of their size, their operational complexity, their class of trade. And I think what it resulted from that was we were kind of tag teaming how we were supporting and managing that customer on a day-to-day basis. And the best analogy I could give you is if you picture a beehive and all the bees are kind of huddled around, like that's kind of what we were looking and acting like in front of the customer. We were very, very focused on solving the day-to-day. And that quite honestly was standing in the way of us living up to the expectation that they had of us to be able to bring more to the relationship. So we changed our coverage model. We added resources to support both the day-to-day operations of the customers by bolstering what we call our account services team. We stood up a new organization as part of my team called our corporate partnership managers that are dedicated to our customers in the portfolio. Their job is proactive problem solving. They should wake up every day and say, what am I going to do today to make the experience of our customer better with us? So we added this proactive problem solving capability. We stood up a strategic solutions capability in order to, again, get closer to our customers and understand the needs that they have and try to build some scalable solutions that help them solve problems that they're facing every day in their businesses. You know, I have an unbelievably talented group of senior sales executives. And what I was finding is that they also were not able to spend the time building relationships and having the more strategic conversations with the customer because they also were kind of, you know, being pulled into the beehive. So we've created now a coverage model and job responsibilities that really enable them to be able to do that. So to answer your question directly is we are spending a lot of time trying to understand how we help the customer build and expand their business. So I'll give you a couple of examples. As you know, MWI, our pet med business, became part of AmerisourceBergen a couple of years ago. And we have several of our customers, both in retail and non-retail, that are really trying to find a way to capitalize on the growing animal health business, which is, I can't remember the numbers, $7 or $8 billion, somewhere around there, on both domestic as well as production animals. But our group is focusing mostly on domestic, so you know, pets. It's a cash-paying business, and it helps bring patients into the locations, particularly of our retailers. So we've actually been successful in helping facilitate and standing up a pet meds capability for several of our customers. So that's one. Number two, which is a little bit more aligned to the core of our business. You know, one of the things that all of our customers struggle with, and quite honestly, it's a struggle for us, is good understanding and forecasting and replenishment to make sure, which sounds very basic, that the right product is at the right place when the patient comes in. We're working with our customers to develop specific tools to be able to enable better forecasting so they can meet the need of their customers when they come in the door, and we can meet the need of them by making sure we have the product where they need to have it at any specific time. And I guess the third one, which is just kind of a recent one, is we helped one of our retailers launch a pretty extensive flu vaccination program in their locations. And obviously we help fulfill and get the product there, but we also help them put together marketing materials that would help them launch this campaign when their members came into their location. So those are probably three examples. And it is interesting. Yes, they have lots of resources, but oftentimes our pharmacy customers are competing with the retail aspect of their business. So if we can help support them by bringing more resources to the pharmacy, it's really, really helpful.
Obviously, you're taking a much more strategic view of your partnerships. And is it fair to say trying to look for unmet needs at a given client?
Yeah, that's right. We're really, in our model is really sitting shoulder to shoulder and co-creating with our customers versus, okay, here's our solution, let me bring it to you. Now we're gonna do our best to be able to have scalable solutions that we can duplicate across customers, but there may be some very customer specific needs that we can meet, like the flu program that I mentioned to you. But we're really in co-creation mode and not just create a suite of solutions and try to sell them into the customer.
And now this is obviously a new approach, a new mindset for ABC. I assume it's new to your clients, your customers as well. How are they responding to the opportunity?
I think they're responding really, really well. What we're finding is that our customers are being very, very transparent on where their needs are. So I think the receptivity has been really, really high. I think the expectation from our customers now is that we're going to deliver solutions in order to be able to help them meet that. But I would say overall, they've been really, really receptive. And again, I think they were looking for that from us as one ABC.
I understand the model's just a year old and still, I'm sure you're putting pieces in place. How has the experience of COVID affected your thinking about what you're doing and how you might evolve going forward?
None of us ever would have thought that we would be dealing with a global pandemic. So it's somewhat fortuitous that we launched this model, really, I guess, October of last year. Just a little bit of background, Jeff, as we all know, from when the lockdown began on the 12th of March, 3 days later, the volume that we were distributing increased 50% in a 2 or 3 day period. So we were shipping roughly 4.5 million a product a day, and it jumped to 6.2, 6.5 million, literally overnight. So obviously, the strain on everybody, who would have anticipated that? But what we found is, having invested when we did in the first 6 months, having these additional resources in place really enabled us to support our customers really, really well. Again, we had our account services team that were handling the day-to-day calls. We had my corporate partnership manager team that was proactively trying to solve with the customers going forward. So I would say, looking back, the timeliness of us doing this was really quite amazing. And listen, was it perfect? No. But I absolutely feel like we were much better positioned to help our customers help their patients, by having launched this model, just a few months before that.
What 2 or 3 excite you the most? What do you think are really going to be game changers for you and your business partners?
First off, I think the one game changer is, just as I said before, is being in this co-creation model with our customers is a game changer for us, right? So just on how we're approaching it is a game changer. I think the one thing that I mentioned earlier, Jeff, is this whole, and I'm going to use the word very broadly, kind of inventory challenge or forecasting challenge, whatever you want to call it, is really an area that no one has been able to really effectively solve. And I think we're making great strides at understanding what are the ways that we can address that problem or help our customers with that. Now, the solution is not going to be the same for every single customer, because I mentioned to you, we have this mosaic of customers underneath us. But if we can align on a solution that is called 80% scalable and 20% customizable to bring out to our customers to be able to solve that, I think is going to be really, really exciting. We've made some great strides of it so far. But we are down in the details with each of our customers right now, really just trying to understand how they work, how we work, how that integrates into a solution going forward. So I'm super excited about that. One of the things I like most about that is, and one thing we haven't touched on, Jeff, is AmerisourceBergen 3 or 4 years ago launched our purpose. And again, we're united in our responsibility to create healthier futures is our purpose. When I think about our corporate partnership customers that have the ability to impact millions of lives every single solitary day, I think if we can help them solve the issue around making sure that the product is there when they need it, really aligns great into our purpose statement, because what better way for us to create healthier futures than through our customers to making sure we're meeting the needs of their patients every single solitary day.
So you're certainly not neglecting the base of the business, which is, as you say, getting the medicine in the hands. Yeah.
Listen, if we don't do that right, we haven't earned the right to have conversations about anything else. So
Yes, you talk about the way you're going to change your interactions with customers. Will that also go back throughout the organization at ABC?
you know, in the first part of the process, we focused mostly on what I will call the commercial interaction. So my team interaction with the customer. And again, we came up with our coverage model.
Mm-hmm.
What we realized pretty quickly was we had to take that same philosophy and, for lack of better terms, push it back down into the organization.
Mm-hmm.
So we put a core team together, 4 or 5 people from my team that met with, I think, 35 different functional areas across AmerisourceBergen that perform about 140, 145 tasks. I know the numbers on this. And literally went out and met with these 35 groups and looked at all of these tasks, and are working as we speak on being able to make sure that what we envision the experience to look like for the customer, you know, for lack of better terms, trickle back down into the organization. So we're literally in the middle of that process right now.
Mm-hmm.
We've taken 2 of our customers and are piloting, I guess the way I would say it, in the fully integrated customer support model as we speak.
How important is it that ABC and its customers and other wholesalers and perhaps their customers find better ways to work together in terms of making healthcare more accessible, cheaper, and hopefully better?
You know, the importance of the wholesaler in supply chain cannot be underestimated. I mean, we all play an integral role in supply chain. And I don't know what the numbers are, but there's billions of dollars that are created in efficiency by the wholesaler every single solitary day, which is always going to be important and does a lot to keep the overall cost down. I think, and I'll talk about us specifically, is again, as long as we're delivering on that key capability every single solitary day, helping our customers be able to grow their businesses, I think is really, really critical for us. And how do we, not that we don't consider ourselves a wholesaler, we certainly do. I think we tend to think of ourselves more of a healthcare company. Mm-hmm. You know, and for ABC, from a differentiation standpoint, you know, how do we bring those assets to our customers to help them grow their business, I think is really where the evolution of it is. And, you know, number one, again, creating healthier futures, and hopefully that by doing that, there are ways to find efficiencies and potentially take cost out of the system. I think if you think about, you know, kind of my aspiration for my team, you know, I'm hoping that there a day comes that any one customer of AmerisourceBergen would never think about making a strategic decision about their business without picking up the phone and calling someone at AmerisourceBergen. Mm-hmm. And that's really what my aspiration is. Will we ever get there? I don't know. But if you don't put it out there, we'll never get there. But I think as we all are trying to evolve with the changing healthcare platform, I think that's a key role for us, and quite honestly, where I want my team to be with our customers.
Well, Gio, it's been great talking with you. Good luck, and we'll talk soon, I hope.
Great. Thanks, Jeff. Good to chat with you. Thanks for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.